Okay, we're live.
Peace to the family. On behalf of HOTC, House of True Consciousness, this is your boy, Knowledge for Ignorance, aka 4K4I, along with my daughter,
Kenny.
And this is Bridging the Gap TV, and we just want to thank the people that's going to be tuning in live, as well as those who will be watching the upload. This is our third installment of Bridging the Gap TV, and if you're not familiar with it, and this would be your first time tuning in, this show was created by me and my daughter. So pretty much, you can get different points of views and opinions from adults and parents, as well as children, and youth and teens. Like, we're trying to, talk about different certain points and social topics that we deal with in our daily lives, and just give our true perspective and opinions from our own viewpoints, as well as speaking on different topics dealing with different things that's going on in society, as well as different research we might have did on it, and just speaking on that. But like I said, Bridging the Gap, was put together, for the youth and teen to, come together with adults and parents, to figure things out and to try to move forward in this society and try to be on a positive outlook on our daily lives. So with that being said, I just want to see if Cammie want a couple things to say, and then we'll get going.
Yeah, so this is our third episode. This episode we're going to be talking about stuff like the good and bad effects of social media. We're going to be talking about, like, artificial intelligence. We're going to be bringing up about, like, the Mandela effect and stuff like that. So, ready to get started on your topic?
Alright, yeah, so with that being said, yeah, like I said, we just wanted to give a quick overview, what the show is about, and kind of some of the topics that we'll be touching on today. And so we're going to start out with the first topic is going to be on the subject of social media. And social media, the definition of social media is websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. Once again, I just want to read that to be thorough, because I know a lot of us might know what it means, but we just want to give a clear, clear emphasis on what we're talking about and try to be thorough with it. So the definition of social media, once again, is websites and applications that enables users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. Okay, yeah, so with that being said, I know, like I said, for the most part, a lot of us are, in tune and do deal with social media, for the most part on a daily basis. And I would say even more so for people that's within the workforce, because a lot of times tied to your job now is some way you're linked to your job when you're off the job through social media sites. So I just wanted to give a quick overview of what social media was, and then we're just gonna start just diving in on it. Now, one thing before I let Cammie chime in somewhat and we go back and forth, I did some like a little researching yesterday, and one thing that I found interesting was I came upon this article that was talking about the 60 plus social networking sites you need to know about in 2018. So I'm like, wow, just in 2018. So first of all, I didn't really think it was 60, but I was more so blown back by them saying the top 60 that you should know about. What you think about that? Did that throw you back too?
Yeah, that means that there's like a whole lot more than I think there is, because like when you think of social media, you normally come like the first thing you think of is like, oh, like YouTube, Snapchat, like Instagram, like Twitter, like stuff like that. But like there's a whole lot more like platforms like that we really like don't know about, but like that are still kind of like popular. This is the top 60, so that means like the top ones, and there's 60 of them, so that means that there's way more.
Right. And I mean, like I said, that kind of like threw me for a loop. But and like I said, I'm gonna let Cammy jump in and start building on the social media because, like I said, we're gonna talk about the pros and cons. And like I said, what we like to do is weigh out both sides, and more so, we like to deal with the negative aspects first, and then bring it home with the positive. So we'll start out with the cons of it. But like I said before, she started diving into that. Another thing that was funny to me that stuck out in this article that I read, it said that out of all these different social medias, even though that this article is just dealing with the top 60 of the year 2018, it says that the average person has at least three different social medias that they deal with. And I thought that was funny because I actually deal with three social medias, and the three that I deal with are Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And like I said, I've had Facebook since it's pretty much been out, but I just don't deal with Facebooks. But I know a lot of people do. But when I seen that it says that the average person has three social medias that they deal with, I just thought that was funny because I fit under the norm of what they were saying. Like I said, I deal with Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, which is kind of funny because that's how we're coming to you guys with our content is through YouTube. So what do you want to say about it?
Yeah, those are like actually like the three main ones that like a lot of people have. Or like Snapchat, they'll have like Facebook and stuff like that too. Like I have like Snapchat, YouTube, and like I have like there's other like ones that aren't as popular that like I mean you know about like Tumblr, and there's like like there's one called what's it called? DeviantArt or like DeviantArt. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's like basically like people share like their art and stuff and like posting their art on there. So like I use that a lot too. So yeah.
Alright, yeah, and yeah, like I said, I only pretty much deal with like three of the different ones, but like I said, the article is dealing with the top 60 social media sites of the year. So I was just gonna read over, maybe a handful of them. Like some of them we're familiar with, and some of them we're not. And one other thing that I found that stood out as far as one of these top 60, one of them is dealing with my job, this one social site called LinkedIn. Like when we have to get updated on different software at work or different promotional things, we have to take different videos, but we have to sign up and go into this LinkedIn system. And I never even thought about that as being a social media.
Yeah, like but I've never really thought of it as like a social media, because it's kind of like it's more to do with like jobs and stuff, because there's a lot of social medias doing with categories, because there's like Tinder, that's like dating kind of social media,
right.
Then Instagram, Twitter, that's more so posting pictures and tweets as words and pictures, I think, and stuff like that.
Right.
And there's one that I use that I was talking about called DeviantArt, that's art and stuff. So there's different categories. So I didn't really ever think of that as a social media. I can't see that being a social media, I guess, because it's kind of a site to connect with people, share with them and stuff like that.
Right.
And some of the ones, because we're on that website right now, looking through the article, and I'm seeing some of these and I've never really considered them as social media, WhatsApp and stuff, the texting sites. I've never really thought about that as a social media, but when you think about it, it's a way to connect and chat with somebody, kind of what the definition of social media is. So I guess it could be considered as one.
Yeah, hey, you made it.
Sorry, there was a moment where our Wi-Fi was kind of messing up and the stream kind of messed up, so yeah, okay, you can continue now, sorry.
Oh yeah, we're right back with you, yeah. So I was just going to read over some of the top 60, and like I said, you have your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, you have the Google Plus, or Google Chrome, I should say, You have like Skype. Another one I hadn't heard of is called Viber.
Is that like for calling and stuff?
It's a multilingual social platform.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I see that would be helpful with different people that's translated and
Yeah, and they're for jobs probably. Like trying to like communicate like over.
Yeah, especially probably when you're dealing with doing different business with overseas companies and things of that nature. Yeah. Then we got one called Line. And like you were saying, there's a lot of them is messaging. Messages like Snapchat. Yeah, Pinterest. I'm familiar with that. I remember when that came out some years back. I downloaded, but I deleted it. I never really.
It's kind of more so for like DIYs and like ideas and stuff. Like I've used it a few times. Like I've used Reddit. That's on those. I use Reddit. I use Reddit.
Website. I don't know
because Reddit is actually like what I kind of use to like read up like on like stories and stuff and like get like news stuff too. And like of course like I talk about like scary stories that I read and stuff, and I'll like read like experiences and stuff like that on Reddit. Yeah, I use Reddit a lot actually.
Yeah, so like I said, we definitely want to finish with the pros of social media, but
like social media can be used for a lot of different things. Yeah. Right.
But first, like I said, I know we're kind of talking about some great things about it, but I want to jump in with some negative things so we can bring it home with the positive. Now, a lot of negative things with social media is just a lot of brainwashing and negative propaganda that's being posted,
influencing like people to do bad things like with challenges and stuff like that.
Like with challenges, like give some examples of what you would say about some negative things. Like what were you talking about challenges?
Well, there was like that one challenge called like the cinnamon challenge, like that was going around for a while and stuff like that. The Kiki challenge, like that was more of like a dancing challenge, but I saw a lot of ones where like people would be like jumping out of cars and like a lot of people like that started becoming real popular.
And that's dangerous.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up because that's illegal.
Yeah.
To get out your car.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's like this one was kind of more so like of a fun one, like remember the ASL like ice bucket challenge? That was originally to be for like donations and stuff like that. Yeah, for that. But it actually ended up like it became like a lot of people started like challenging people and like doing like a lot of crazy stuff that like wasn't really necessary.
So they pretty much remixed the ASL bucket challenge. What you're saying? Yeah. I remember when people was rubbing alcohol on themselves and lighting themselves on fire.
Really?
Yeah, I remember that. And that started kind of getting kind of haywire to where people was, lighting their legs on fire and their arms and, what I'm saying? So that type of stuff is dangerous, dealing with social media, like the negative effects of some of these challenges. You want to say something else?
Yeah, because there's social media can like also be used for stuff like sharing like opinions and stuff and like starting like arguments even or like some like trends maybe like kind of like challenges like trends and like abbreviations and like what are they called like slang stuff like stuff like that like terms a lot of people use like stuff like that. Yeah, it can be used for a lot of good things and a lot of bad things, but I feel like more recently people have just started to not recently, like it's always been like kind of like 50-50, like kind of like good, kind of like not like
right. And like I said, that goes with anything.
It just depends on like the person using it.
Yeah. And like I was saying about, like I said, the negative things about social media platforms to go in. Like I said, you just made a good one dealing with the challenges.
Yeah.
And like I say, do you have some positive challenges? But like I said, dealing with the negative, I would say it has people, very egotistical and self-centered to where, they're over-consuming.
It'll also start
doing videos of themselves or just walking around not really doing nothing. You might get online.
It started a lot of it started a lot of like careers and stuff like from like YouTube or like coming from like Instagram or Twitter and stuff like that, like that. But like I feel like people like on social media can like also make it can also start what they call like idealistic like standards for some people too. That's one thing. Like because a lot of people, like you can see like girls on like social media or like girls or guys that like dress really nice or like they like their bodies are nice, like they're really good at makeup. People just kind of like hurt themselves to become like that. Like the Kylie Jenner lip challenge. Remember that one? That one when people were like trying to use like a suction cup. I remember one time I sent a video to my friend like pretending to do it, and like she was freaking out. The Kylie Jenner lip challenge, because I used like this cap of like a Moose bottle, and like I was pretending to do it. Then she was like, "Oh my gosh, like what are you doing?" Blah blah blah. I was like, "I'm just kidding." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I was gonna say that's like so stupid." Like the Kylie Jenner lip challenge, like it was funny. Like some of them were funny to watch because like they'd be like joking stuff, but the other ones would kind of be sad because like stuff would actually end up happening that like ruin like their face in a way. Like it's just kind of
Then like I said, then like another negative thing I would say is like, you know, just always uploading and posting negative content like fights and stuff like that, you know. And what I was saying with me myself, like speaking on having a guilty pleasure, I done got away from it like in the last 2 years, but probably like 2 years ago I used to, you know, spend probably at least 45 minutes a day to watching like World Star content. And it's kind of bad because like kind of what's happening like in like you know, like for example, like the Nicki Minaj and like Cardi B fight, just and like people like stupid stuff. Stuff at like my new school because like people will like get into fights at like my new school. Like at my old school, there'd be like fights, but not as like often. But like they'd be like, oh, record it or like, oh, send it to me, like stuff like that. Or like people will like try to spread around like rumors or like spread around like bad like pictures of you and stuff like that, or like use them to like maybe some of them are funny like to make memes because like I've had my friends like make like memes of me and stuff, but like there'll just be like some pictures that you'll see of yourself like, oh, don't post that, like that looks really bad. And they know that might make you emotional. But like I said, I know the fighting videos and all that stuff is bad. Like I said, I would be on World Star for like music videos and stuff, but they started uploading so much of that to where I started getting consumed. You know, you hear World Star, like I said, stupid people stopping the fights and not even uploading it. They're more instigating it, and we all should be unified and collaborating and be in harmony versus this division and everybody pitted against one another, you know, with these different so-called being enemies. And this is a negative thing. Like, I don't really understand how people can become enemies and stuff over social media when you're not actually physically in their presence. Like, you let people work you up and stuff like that. And you know, like a thing with like the World Star thing is like me and my dad like watched the movie the other day, and it was about this one rapper. Like his name was Kyle. Like he was on the movie, and like he had like a seizure, like puked all over like this one. Who was it? I think it was like Wiz Khalifa or something. He puked all over him, and like everybody was screaming. Everybody was screaming like, oh, World Star, like post this and stuff like that. Cause like actually last year, like at the end of the day, I was like waiting by like the entrance for like my bus to come, and like these two girls were like yelling at each other and stuff, and these girls were like, oh, World Star, like that was like last year, like when people like started wanting to like record it and stuff. I'm like, that isn't necessary. Like it's just bad. They just like want to like spread it around, and like that stuff could get them like suspended. Like how I got in trouble with this thing called because there was this one song popular for a while called like the Gucci Gang and stuff, like, and I had this group chat on Snapchat with like at least like 14 of my friends, and we all ended up getting in trouble and getting detention because like that we were in a group because like and called ourselves like the Gucci Gang because like it was gang affiliation, and then we ended up getting in trouble for it. So we know definitely not to like do something like that again. It's a good way to like spread your music around like he did, like, and like there's a lot of people that come from like SoundCloud or like YouTube, or how what's her name, like Ella Mai, like she came from Instagram, I found out. So like there's a lot of good ways to like how careers can start there, but there's a lot of bad things that can happen. Like I said, people use it for bad things, but like I said, it's a lot of positive. Like I said, people use it for like pranks and stuff. Like some of it's gonna be cool and joking and harmless, but when you be like sabotaging people's property, you know, so defacing people's property and stuff like that, that's that's like negative and putting out bad, bad vibrations,
Yeah.
But now, like I said, now we can talk about the pros, what I'm saying, the positive things of social media. Like I said, first and foremost, if it wasn't for social media, me and my daughter wouldn't be able to be doing this show, what I'm saying, to bring different research views and different points of views dealing with our everyday life. So that's a positive, like being able to have a YouTube account and, be able to, for the most part, bring the type of content that you want to bring, what I'm saying, to your liking, and people can either follow it or come view it or just not even come to it at all. So what's the positive things about social media in your life, in your view?
Like there's ways to I don't know how to explain it. Like there's ways to okay, so for me maybe show off your art and stuff. Like me and my friend yeah, me and my friend, we use social media, just show our art off and stuff,
Okay.
or maybe just, share, funny things with, your friends and stuff like that, because that's what I mainly use it for, or to, chat with my friends and stuff, and,
Right.
FaceTime them and stuff, because, or not, FaceTime, there's this one called, House Party, where I can just, come on there and, go into, a group of, up to, 8 of my friends, and, basically just, talk to them on there and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like I said, another one that, before we jump to a different topic, a positive, like I said earlier, peace to my bro, Sean Herman. That's a good way to network and meet people. And like I said, I'm a part of the HOTC, House of True Consciousness.
Yeah, I can create hobbies.
And we all found each other, what I'm saying, online, just free thinkers, men and women, we was all in certain live stream chats, what I'm saying, at some point in time with different people in the conscious community on YouTube and stuff like that. And a couple brothers had created it, it was created through the Discord, which is a gaming app, but they thought of a way to loophole it to join forces, brothers and sisters to, deal with research content, what I'm saying, to put out, truth out to the masses. And I just want to shout out my boy Sir Drop and my boy Brandon, the two brothers who came up with the idea of the House of True Consciousness for us brothers and sisters that supported us. So yeah, like I said, social media do have a lot of great positive things to it, and social networking is one of it. Like I said, I wouldn't have been able to find these free-thinking brothers and sisters like myself if it wasn't for social media platforms and different people's channels, where we found each other in the chat rooms, over the last year or so, what I'm saying, and began to deal with one another. So yeah. So that, did you have anything else to say about the effects, whether positive or negative, on social media before we move on to your topic?
No, not really. We've gone over the good and bad things about it.
Alright, cool. Like I said, I know it's way more that we could say both ways, but we want to move on. We don't want to be too long-winded on one topic.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you can go ahead and lead to your topic. Your next topic.
My next topic is about the Mandela effect, which is it started by because everybody thought that because a lot of people thought that Nelson Mandela died when he was in prison, but it turns out that he actually died in 2013, and people were tons and tons of people were claiming that they saw videos and stuff. Even my dad was claiming earlier that he saw videos.
Well, I thought he died in the 90s.
The 80s or 90s, yeah, that's what I was saying, when he was in prison, but he died in 2013. And when I was trying to look up a definition for it, I actually found something, and it was the definition of false memory. It says, a false memory is a psychological phenomenon where a person recalls something that did not happen. There is a growing body of evidence that false memories are created whenever memories are recalled. So possibly my dad could have like heard that like people saw videos and stuff. He's like, oh, maybe I saw videos because I was there. Like I heard about him dying, you know, like stuff like that.
Right,
or like because he did it. And there's just a lot of examples that I could go through. Because after I read that, I was thinking, well, maybe like all the stuff that I've seen are fake. But at the same time, I thought about it, and I actually watched this video like just today about this channel that I watch, and they had like multiple people like choosing like two like pictures or like two words or like, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah,
and like just yeah, and they were all separate. They were all like, there's no way they were connected to each other. So like, I mean, how could so many people think the same thing at once? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, because maybe it was influence. Maybe they saw the picture and were like, oh yeah, that looks about right. But like, or maybe it was actually like what they really did remember. Because I have some examples.
Okay.
The first one is about you know, like Kit Kats, like candy got a lot of people like in the logo that there's actually not a hyphen in it, and a lot of people, like even me and my dad talked about this, that it, like the logo, like it looks right with the hyphen in it, right? Like it does.
Yeah, which one?
In the Kit Kat logo.
Yeah,
like I saw it at first, like I've seen that many times. Like I swear it had a, like it just makes sense, like Kit Kat, like with the hyphen in it. That just didn't make much sense. And this next one is like a show that, like, did you used to watch it? I don't know. Like, but he brought it up about the show called Sex in the City is what we thought it was.
I used to watch it. Sometimes.
We thought it was in the city, and it's actually in the city. And I was literally insisting when he first told me. I was like, I've heard it in the city so many times.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
what it is.
And then like on one of Jay-Z and Beyonce first duo songs they did, Bonnie and Clyde, he actually sang like, that was one of her favorite shows, but, and I rap the lyrics all the time, but he says, Sex and the City. I'm like, I could have sworn it was Sex in the City.
Yeah, and another one is actually from one of my favorite movies that I can say I've watched like tons and tons of times. Like when I saw this one, like I kind of like freaked out because I just kind of found out about this one today. Cause it was actually from the movie Forrest Gump, and it was the line, life is like a box of chocolates, and I was telling my dad, I was like, no, it is, and then he said, no, it was.
Yeah,
and so I was like, what do you mean? Yeah, I'm really confused. Like, I swear it was is, and like that shit, it was so weird because like when I first saw the movie, like when I was like 7 years old, like I watched that movie tons of times. And another one that we saw today that we kind of debunk because like we know, because there's this one movie, like there's a series, it's like Silence of the Lambs, like, and I actually first saw the first movie last month. Yeah,
that's funny too.
It was kind of funny because I'm sure like for a second I did kind of get like tricked, but then I was thinking about it because like we kind of like figured it out because it said because this one part, like if you're familiar with it, there's this one part where he says, hello Clarice, and that's like a line that a lot of people will like quote and stuff that I've heard. And I actually like watched this video, and it said that he just says good morning. And I know at some point,
because I watched that movie a lot. I could have sworn I heard hello Clarice.
Right, like.
But all he said, we just rewatched it like a little while before we came on live, and
like
all he said was morning.
Right, like I thought he could have. So I swore that
he might have gone back and watched the whole movie. Maybe it just wasn't in that scene.
Yeah, but like maybe because like I said, like it was the first time for me watching it like last month, but my dad like saw it when he was like younger because like it came out during the 90s, but like I wasn't alive during then, but like it came out then, but maybe like because I heard him say it a few times because when he came out here, when me and my mom were watching it, he said that, and I was like, oh, that makes sense that like he would say that, you know, like so maybe that was just like maybe the idea was put into my head, but I'm sure that he said it during some point in the movie, like I swear that he did.
Exactly, like man, that tripped me out.
Right, and there's another one from like the Snow White movie. Like everybody's heard this quote, "Mirror, mirror on the wall." Like, everybody's heard that quote. Like, it's in a lot of other movies, but it's actually magic mirror on the wall. And I actually watched a few clips of it, and it does say magic mirror.
That's crazy,
so,
too.
Like,
I just wondered it was mirror, mirror.
Quotes, there's always, like, memes made of it. Like, people just switched it up on us. And, like, the one thing, even the guy who voiced him thought that he said, "Luke, I am your father," but he says, "No, I am your father." Like, that really confused me. And, like, one of the songs that I like by this group called Panic at the Disco, like, it says, because even he thought it said "the," but he says, like, closing a goddamn door, but he says, like, well, I thought it was "the," but he says and it was just kind of confusing. And there's another show, or like, not show, it was like a book series too, that like I read when I was like younger and stuff, called The Berenstain Bears.
Right.
And I thought, like, we were looking at that list, and I was like literally bringing it up, and it was like the second one under the Nelson Mandela prison death in the 1980s. Like, I thought it was Berenstain, but it's actually Berenstain. And like another show is like Looney Tunes. I thought it was like cartoons, like TOONS. Like, that would make more sense. But it's like tunes, like iTunes, like TUNES. Like, that really threw me off. Like,
that one I also thought was TOO.
Yeah. So I just named a lot of them. So do you have any more?
Yeah, I just got one more that's kind of funny to me. For people that's like a little younger than me and my age bracket, I know you probably was big fans of the Jackson 5, and one of the Mandela effects was like, it was actually 6 members instead of 5, and the sixth member would be Randy. So the Mandela effect is, you would assume it was 5 members, but it says it sounds like a trick question, but nothing connected to Mandela effect is at first what it appears. How many members did the Jackson 5 have? Those who say 5 might want to rethink it. Then it says Randy Jackson appeared with the band many times from as early as 1965, bringing their members count to 6. So technically, they really should have, probably changed the name. Yeah. So the total was. Yeah. So, and technically, he was the youngest too, because it also says everybody thought Michael was the youngest boy out of the Jackson family.
The youngest one.
But actually, Randy is. So the group prior to Randy, it was Michael, Jermaine, Tito, Jackie, and Marlon. But like I said, as early as 1965, Randy joined the group, so they should have changed it to Jackson 6. But I guess that just don't have the same ring as Jackson 5.
Many people have been like used to Jackson 5.
Right. I was just gonna say, people stuck into just hearing the Jackson 5.
Yeah, because like it's like for example, it'd be like maybe like someone like changing their name and like going by a different name. Like, they've been so used to calling them like this name, and now they want to be called this name. Right. Like that. Like, it just doesn't sound the same.
Hey, you know what else too? On the real time, that group from what era now? That Fifth Harmony. How many members in there?
4.
See what I'm saying? So they never.
Harmony doesn't sound
they never changed that. So it's like. So I guess
Cabello left. They never changed it.
Right.
I was thinking about them the other day. I was like, why haven't they changed it yet? But like.
So if they had the same ring.
I'm sure it would have sounded better, like, if, like, Camila wasn't in it from the start. Like, I'm sure Fourth Harmony wouldn't have sounded weird to us if, like, we never heard about Fifth Harmony.
Yeah, and then, like I said, before we move on to, a different topic, so we talked about that era. Fifth Harmony is only 4 members. It did start with 5.
Yeah.
Then from the era prior to me, the Jackson 5, but it ended up being 6 with the adding of the youngest brother Randy, when everybody kind of thought Michael was the younger. Then another group from that era, or a little bit after that, I'll say maybe the late 60s, going into the 70s, 80s, a lot of people know it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. But when you think about it, it's 4 elements, but they just using 3. They're using Earth, Wind, and Fire, but they're leaving out water.
Right.
So, but when you think about it, like, Earth, Wind, and Fire, maybe, I don't know, maybe I have to look into an interview of some of them, over the years and saying why they named it that, but I'm thinking, Earth, Wind, and Fire had a a better ring to it than Earth, Wind, Water, and Fire. You know.
Right, or like Water, Earth, and Fire.
Yeah, you know.
Like, you know, like, you know, just like leaving out one of them just to put in water. Like, when you think about it, like, you know, I feel like they should just name it that because it has a better ring to it, and they just don't want to change it. Because it's like, there's like a lot of like YouTube channels that I've watched like that have changed their name over the years that like I've had to like get used to, or like, you know, like my friends that like want to be called like different nicknames or stuff like that, you know, like it's confusing.
That, you know what, I guess I can't really knock it because I guess we all use it to a certain extent because like I said, because like my you know, my social media name is Knowledge for Ignorance, but then I go by K4I, so that
like it's an abbreviation. The way to shorten it and like make it sound
better. It got a better ring to it, but like I said, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and they leaving out. Well, this you know what is crazy because
it's like
we're most important one.
That's all you want to do the most important one.
Alright, so I don't know. I mean, that's all I had dealing with the Mandela effect. If you have anything else before we...
All I've learned is I've been being lied to about the Mandela effect. That stuff be tripping me out when I'm looking at those videos, to be honest. They're like, some of them are weird. Like, especially, the one that probably, like, freaked me out the most was the Forrest Gump one. I never heard it was. It's like, life is like a box of chocolates. But when I think about it, during that part in the movie, he wasn't that happy anymore, right? It wasn't, because that part is like life was. So now that I think about it, it makes more sense. So like I'd probably have to go like rewatch the movie though.
Right. Just to pick up on that part, huh? Right.
But I'd kind of put it together. So you can kind of go into your next topic though.
Alright, cool. Alright, so we're done with speaking on the Mandela effect, and I'm going to go into my second topic, which is artificial intelligence, and you know, dealing with the abbreviation. We know it is AI. Then a lot of sports fans, you know, my age, that's Scoop fans, know AI is Allen Iverson. That was his nickname. That was just a little jokey joke. But so the next topic is artificial intelligence, and just want to give a brief, overview of what that is and what it pertains to. So artificial intelligence, the theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, and translation between languages. Once again, artificial intelligence, the theory and development of computer systems able to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence, such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, and translation between languages. So actually the artificial intelligence, peace Huey, what's good, bro? Actually the artificial intelligence kind of ties into what we was kind of talking about a minute ago, the social media, because you do that, using a lot of voice commands and stuff like that. So I don't know, dealing with artificial intelligence, I would say a lot of some of the negative things, because like I said, we deal with the positive and negative, so I'm going to deal with the bad things first. A lot of negative things, I would say, it kind of make us lazy, even though it helps, right? And I'm going to say this, because me and my brothers, we done built on that, within our discourse, but some of the negative things, dealing with the artificial intelligence is, it has us using our brain capacity and our memory less than what we used to. And I'll give a quick example, because this is going to be over your head, because dealing with your age, you're 12, you never dealt with this, but dealing with me and my brother Sean and Huey, dealing with us growing up, as far as phone numbers. Now, on all our phones, right, we got our call logs, right, and you got your contacts. So what you're doing, you put the name to your contacts. So say you got me and your mom, so on and so forth, right? But with us fellas growing up, you might have had a phone book or a manual Rolodex thing, but we knew all these numbers in our head. I mean, literally. Yeah. So, we was not talking about this.
We had to memorize, like, a few of my, family members' phone numbers. Like, I know, like, you, like, moms, like my friends, like a few of my friends.
Right, you only know a couple, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, us growing up, we knew everybody's numbers. I mean, from say dealing with school and your parents' work numbers to your aunts and uncles, you know, to all your friends, and you even knew, like, say, some of your friends' family members. Like, I mean, we knew so many numbers. But like I said, one of the bad things dealing with this artificial, what you do, right? You get your phone, right? And you're talking to it, right? You know, like say you, I just put in, boom, I touch it and be like Candy. It'll put that in, and I just say the number. You know, say what your number is, it'll lock it in. You know what I'm saying? So then you can go to it for, you know what I'm saying, for a voice command. You know, something like that. But like I said, it kind of makes us lazy. Then in a way, I don't know about you, but it kind of makes me feel like, I mean, I know it isn't, but sometimes it makes you feel like it's dictating and controlling you.
Yeah, because there's been some times
from the truth, so go ahead, go in on that.
Yeah, so I have a few things to talk about with the AI thing, because the first thing is that like I'll have like conversations. But I've had like times where I have like conversations like with like my Google like on my phone, or like Siri like on my old phone.
He would let me know how it sounded now, bro. If we need to try to tweak it or something, or can you hear us? Oh, keep going.
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing I have written down is this one time I was talking to Google, and Google remembered like my favorite song. So I was like, Google, what's my favorite song? And it was like the song that you've listened to like the most in the past month, like at the time. And it was kind of really weird to me, like how like he has all that like saved in like the database and stuff. And another thing that I want to talk about is like the face thingy, like the face unlock and like the fingerprint unlock, like that's also saved in like the database like of
the facial recognition.
Yeah.
And I think that's a negative thing too.
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even cut you off.
It's easy to use, but like, and another one that kind of creeped me out, because I'm sure if I said it right now, I'm not sure if I could say it because it'd probably cut off the live stream, because there's a thing on my computer named Cortana, and it like only recognizes my voice. And I found that out because I was over at my friend's house, and she was like, oh, hey, Cortana, and it recognized her voice, and it opened it up, and I was like, okay, it's basically just like Google and stuff like that, you know. And I tried to do it, and it wouldn't do it, and I was like, okay, so why is it not working for me? Then she said it only worked for her because it recognized her voice because it's her computer, and it literally had it like saved in. So I tried it the other day when my friend Kaylin was over during my birthday, and she tried it, and then I tried it first. It worked because like it's heard me on like calls and stuff, but when I tried Kaylin, like it didn't work, and like it was just kind of creepy to me, like how it like knows how my voice sounds like from over time. Like even if I try to mute my mic, like it'll still pick it up, you know, like it'll still like somehow like listen to me. And another thing that my friend posted on his like Snapchat story the other day is how like his phone like listens to him and like gives him like specific ads, because he said he had his Instagram open and he was like what did he say? He said, if like I'd give this a bad review on Yelp, and he ended up getting like the next day, he never like uses Yelp, like he never really like associates like with it, you know, like uses it for like, you know, but then the next day he had a Yelp ad like on his Instagram, and that's kind of creepy, like how it did that, like it was listening you know what, me and my mom tried this one time, like when her Facebook was open, we were talking about like Nike shoes or something, like I forgot, I brought it up to her like after like I watched his story, and I tried it like talking about like Nikes or something, talking about them, and then she ended up getting like a shoe ad like 2 days later, and it's just kind of weird. Yeah, she ended up getting like a shoe ad because we were talking about like Nikes and stuff. Yeah, we were talking about like like we ended up getting stuff like, and it's like another thing that does is like tracking our movement, because we were both on the same page with this, because we thought it was really cool, like, during the summer, that, because when we found the app that it can, like, track our steps and stuff, because there's stuff like a Fitbit, like, where you get it for that specific reason, but your phone can, like, track you, like, walking around and stuff like that, and that's kind of really creepy, that, like, I mean, like, it's cool that it can do that, but, like,
but at the same time, it's like it's monitoring.
Like it's monitoring you, like trying to see what you're doing. You know, right. Like, yeah, exactly. It's just kind of creepy. So, yeah, that's kind of all I have to talk about. Do you have any more?
Yeah. I want to piggyback on you talking about the facial recognition and the fingerprint thing. Now, I have an iPhone, and I don't use either one of them because it kind of creeps me out. Even though I know they tracking us, even if you turn off your friend finder or your locator device, your locator device, it's still, the phone is still tracking you whether you know it or not. So the eye recognition and the fingerprint thing, it just have you more in the system database to more track, you know what I'm saying, your all your whereabouts. You know what I'm saying? Everything you're doing. Then the fingerprint thing, like, I've always been leery, so I still just do the 4-digit code or whatever to get into my phone. Like, I don't want to have my fingerprint out there, even though I know they can just kind of do what they want to do. I kind of just want to keep it simple as possible.
Already gotten your fingerprint, like,
right. Yeah, even though, like you said, even though when I'm pressing my home thing, it probably does, but me just...
You're on your phone so much anyways.
Yeah, but me just consciously just thinking about it, just give me a sense of peace of mind with me not doing it on my own, even though, like you just said, even though me constantly pushing the home thing all the time, they probably do have my fingerprint, but I haven't ever used the retina thing. And another thing, like I said, is negative too, is what you were saying, I want to chime in on, is how the microphones on our phones record pretty much our every word, and they kind of listen in to keywords and stuff sometimes too.
Yeah, because there's a way you can, like, cover up your camera and stuff, but there's no way to, like, stop it from listening to you.
Right, yeah, they'll always be able to listen in. So yeah, the things as far as, like what she said about bringing up, say, Nikes, and then you seeing these certain ads, that kind of happened when I'm talking about certain stuff, you know, over the course of the day, or if I'm on the phone with one of my friends or something, when I get off, I might start getting different ads on my Instagram or Twitter.
Oh, like this one time. This one time I got off of the phone with you because we were talking about, like, what to get, and, like, one place that we don't really eat at much was Long John Silver's, and I was talking about, like, looking up the menu, and literally afterwards, like we were talking about it, and I went to go look it up. All I typed in was LO, and it came up Long John Silver's menu.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Like, you know what? You didn't tell me that. Yeah,
like, it was just kind of creepy. And, like, another thing with, like, the tracking thingy is that, like, you know how Snapchat came out with Snap Maps, and, like, there's a way for you to turn it off, but, like, you know, like, a lot of apps will ask for your permission, like, oh, can we, like, get your location? Can we use your camera? Can we use your microphone? Even if you choose no, it'll most likely still get it anyways, like, to get information from you. It's just, like, it's just one of those things where there's, like, no way you can stop it, because the government is always, like, one step ahead of you. Like, there's no way you can stop it. Unless you, like, somehow, like, get, like, water all up in your phone and you can't use the microphone anymore, you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, so they always, and then, like, going back to social media, this time back into social media too, the AI, if you notice, when you get a lot of these apps, they asking for your consent to be able to share your content with other social media, but at the same time, you're giving consent when you're saying yes, but
and most
even if you don't, they're still tracking your stuff. You know,
most people, like, don't even realize it anyways. They'll just, like, click yes, like, not even reading it.
Yeah,
like, whenever people, like, will get stuff, or, like, they'll sign, like, a contract, they won't, like, read the whole thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where there's just, like, it'll happen anyways. So, yeah, there's no way to really stop it. Because, like, I mean, I said that they're one step ahead, but, you know, they're more than one step ahead, so... That's all I have to really say about it.
And then too, it's like, it's kind of eerie, you know, with how you know, like you said, something like say your computer, the Katana thing, I think you said,
Yeah,
it's kind of customized to just you. So it's like it's your
to my voice. Like,
it's
and
like it's your friend.
Yeah, like like it gets to know me, like how my Google like knew what like my favorite song was and stuff, you know, like that. Yeah. And as much as it's heard like you and like my mom's voice and like maybe Kaylin's voice, you know, like they all come over to my house and they're there around my computer, but you know, like they still hear my voice the most, I guess, because like I'll be at home like talking, or like I'll be on the phone, like it really makes sure that that's the voice.
So it's sensitive to your voice.
It's like, you know, yeah. And there's actually, I found it the other day, there's a way to like even like not even for it to like learn your voice. Like I mean, like, okay, what was it? Like either way it'll learn your voice, but there's a way to like have it automatically learn your voice without like having to do it over time. Because the first few like months of me having my computer, I'm sure like you could have used it, like use the Cortana thing, but there was a way where you could just record your voice right away and it'd like learn it. Like, and I feel like it'd be one of those things too where it like listens to it so much it'll like learn the pitch and like the accent that you have, like the thing with the Face ID, like as much as you like use makeup or like have acne or anything, it'll still like detect your face like with like specific ways, you know, like what I mean, like it's just like a way to, it'll really get like in depth and like, okay, that's all I really have to say about it. So you can talk now.
Yeah, well no, like I said, that's just some of the, you know, some of the negative the negative things where, like I said, it records everything and then it holds data. It holds data, you know what I'm saying, on everything as well, you know. But now some of the positive, which is gonna sound hypocritical, the same way how I said it makes us lazy. It helps, and it's like an instant. I would say, just like as far as researching stuff, it's the same way in like heating stuff up in the microwave versus like the oven or something real quick. You can go say like, okay, I have an iPhone, so I can go to Siri and just ask it like, what's the weather in Detroit, Michigan today? It'll go right quick, it'll pop it up right quick, right? Or to send me to something that little, I can ask, just say like a certain question, like say like, what's the square root of 23 million? You know, it'll give me that real quick, or take me to a site that will give me that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a thing that I would say is kind of a positive. Like say when you're in the rush for something, or say when you're on the fly, like going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Artificial intelligence is good with the AI as far as the voice command. Say if you're using the Google Maps or whatever like that, the MapQuest, that's good because you need to keep your eye on the road and you know, hearing that voice, you know, turn left, you know, at the next right, or even though it's kind of redundant and kind of rock you to sleep, it's kind of helpful so you can kind of keep your eyes on the road. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, it really does help you. But like, because I was born in a time where like I couldn't really imagine life without that stuff, you know what I mean? Like I mean, of course you could, like, you know exactly, like, I feel like you'd still be fine like without all that stuff, but for me it'd take a while to adjust. But like, what I mean is like, you know how I was talking about like how it almost tries to be your friend because it knows so much about you and stuff like that, and like, cause like they're putting like little Easter eggs too, cause I remember this one time, cause I don't have an iPhone like anymore, like I used to have one, like an iPod when I was like younger, but now I have like a Samsung. So like I asked my dad to like use Siri, right? And like you asked him, and like it was like what's 0 times 0, and I had this like big long like joke. It was like oh, like the Cookie Monster like it like has like 0 cookies, something like that. And it was like it was trying to like joke with you, or like sometimes I'll be like good morning, like good night, like how are you? And like I did that with our Alexa thingy, like with the Fire Stick. Like I remember this one time I was like good for you, and it was like woohoo, like trying to like have an emotion. I was like, what is this? Yeah, it was really funny. But yeah, it almost tries to give it emotions even though it can't, because like I'll ask it like sometimes like, oh, what's your mood, how are you feeling, or like what's your opinion on that, but like it can't really answer that question exactly. Like you know it probably could.
You know what? That's another, like I think, downside that's kind of eerie with the AI is like they try to be human to try to humanize the computer when actually it's getting everything from us that are humans, you know what I mean?
At some point,
yeah, you know,
end up taking over, kind of, you know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of what they
want to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's why one of the reasons why we kind of talking on that subject to kind of make people aware of it, kind of maybe start doing, you know, research, you know, on artificial intelligence.
Just kind of like open up, like be more open-minded about it. And like so it's not as big as a shock when it comes to that point where it's going to be like really, really advanced and stuff. I mean, like not social media, like AI is really advanced right now, but I'm sure there's way more that they're working on that we have no idea about, because I've heard things about like stuff that Apple and Samsung have like ready that they've had like the idea of for like years and years, but like they just haven't put it out yet, you know.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm still gonna say it's more negative with AI versus good thing, because it makes us more divided. It has us where we're not, you know, personal. It has a lot of people socially awkward, you know what I'm saying, because they behind a screen. Because they're more
sucked into their phone.
So I'm going to tell you two things, you know, that I'll let you weigh in on it, but two negative things, again, with this artificial intelligence that I dislike from when I was growing up versus now as an adult. About business-wise, you know, like my birthday was this past Monday, so I had to go, you know, get the new tags for the car and stuff, right? So me getting the tags a year ago was simple and straightforward. Okay, you get in line, get your number, right? You wait for them to call you up. You go up with your ID, your driver's license, your proof of insurance, and your registration. You show them it's valid, then you pay for the new tag and the new registration, right? Okay, this year I went over like 3 things. I mean, it like almost stressed me out to where I kind of almost need to come home and meditate again for the second time, because I get in there, it's all eerie, it's docile. First of all, it's a big line, right? Now, initially, you used to just pull a number. Okay, now they got it. They have these two, like, at least 42-inch flash screens up, right? And they still have to pull a ticket thing. So you can either go up there and pull a ticket, or you have to go up and type in on these monitors your number, which it will text you in line to let you know where you at, right? Okay, boom, that's one thing. So I have to type in my phone number, and it will call me by the last 4 digits of my number. Okay, cool, I do that. So when I get up to the front of the line, I'm thinking I'm going to talk to this lady, give her my ID, my proof of insurance, my proof of registration, pay the amount that I need to pay, swap out, get the new tags and new registration. No, I get up there, they call my number, I get up there to the line, all she does is take my name and have me sit down. Instead of just letting me go and pay for everything, I'll be done. I'm like, ma'am, I'm not going to pay. No, I got to deal with the rest of these people. So they put you through a whole another series of steps to do prior to you doing the transaction for whatever you're there for.
Extra.
Yeah, it's extra. So I go sit down. So it's like 40 people sitting down. So some of these people are there to get their driver's license or to get a CDL driver's license. You know what I'm saying? Or they're there, you know what I'm saying, to get just, you know what I'm saying, what I was there for, their new tags for the new fiscal year coming up, 2019. Boom, so I'm sitting there, it almost rocked me to sleep. So they got these jumbotrons with these numbers up there with the last 4 digits of people's numbers, or the number tag that you could have put. But then they got this automated system along with the teller saying the same thing. This is what it was saying. This is the automated thing, like the Siri or the Alexa. Number 4658. Come to window 1. I repeat, 4568. Come to window 1. So they doing that to go to window 1. By the way, it's 8 windows. Only 4 people working out of these 8 windows. So along with them repeating that twice, the last 4 digits of your number and what lane to go to, the actual lane you going to, they verbally spew it out too. So they're sounding like a redundant robot at a time.
Basically repeating.
Yeah, so they're repeating. So
getting the information from.
Yeah, so the 2 times it was blurted out by the artificial voice mechanism while you're walking up to the window that you were assigned to. That teller was saying the same thing. I'm like, man, it almost felt like Twilight Zone, like real creepy, like eerie, like.
Yeah, and like that's kind of one of those things. Like I found out, like the people found out the number like from it, like repeating it. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I mean,
from it. And like that's kind of like one of those things where like people trust the internet too much and like AI too much because like just people like don't trust word of mouth anymore because like people lie a lot. But so does the internet. Like what's the difference?
Exactly.
Like people like will say like what you just said that like there's more negative stuff about AI and social media than like pros, but at the same time we're kind of being hypocrites because we use them to help us out in our daily lives as much as we like wouldn't like to admit it, like it really does help us out. Yeah. Like sometimes it kind of stresses you out and it has you like doing too much. Like you're trying to like set up your phone or like fix something that like and you're like just confused. Like why is it doing this and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Like it's just yeah. Like as you said, there's a lot of negative stuff. I think that there is more negative stuff than positive stuff to do with AI and social media, but at the same time, I still use it a lot. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about it.
I was gonna say too. One more thing that I think is negative, and then I'll sum it up with just 3 main things that artificial intelligence is kind of dealing with. Then we'll jump to her next topic. But one more negative thing, and it's cutting to the job force because it's cutting out certain jobs. And the one thing
they're taking it like for you.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the main things that irritate me as far as artificial intelligence is going grocery shopping to where you have like grocery stores like say a Walmart or even like one of your local grocery stores might have anywhere between 5 to like say 20 lanes. So let's just say Walmart might have 20 lanes, right? You only got like out of them 20 lanes, you only got like 4 real humans as tellers, as checkout cashiers, right? But then you got the other 19 that's closed down, but then you got these U-scans. So you go through the U-scan, and then you got to do everything yourself. So if you got a problem, you got to wait to push one of the fonts on the computer to have a real person come up to help you with the U-scan. And the one thing I hate about the U-scan, so I for the most part, I still go through the real human line. I hate when you have like vegetables or fruit. You got to go through the thing to find the code, to punch in the weight of it and the number to get the proper, purchasing amount for the fruit or vegetables you get. So I'd rather go through the actual human, check line so they can do it. But yeah, so you have like 20-something like lines per checkout, but it's only like 4 to 5 actual humans working them, and then they have like 4 or 5 U-scan where you have to do it on your own. But if you have an issue, you still have to at the end talk to a real human because the artificial response mechanism is redundant. If you need help, see a supervisor. If you need it almost pisses you off to where you're frustrated, to where they're making the middleman to where you don't need the middleman. You can just still do the actual natural interaction between customer and cashier, which both of them being humans. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And the last thing I'll just say about the artificial intelligence, 3 main things that it's dealing with is transportation, criminal justice, and advertisement. Like my daughter just said when her mom was talking about Nikes, and the artificial intelligence was overhearing them talking about it. So the next day when they went to their social media, they was getting advertisement from from shoe companies. It
wasn't specifically Nike, but it was like recommending like Nike in the shoe ads. You know what I mean? Like yeah.
And then like I said, we're not tied to no time limit or nothing. So 2 more things I would say about it. Dealing with artificial intelligence. It says transportation. And And the pros of that, like I said, is the navigational system, like, getting you from point A to point B. Even though sometimes the maps and stuff could be off, but for the most part, they're helpful. But then one of the negative things that I can say that I think is the self-driving artificial cars. Because you have some cars, like some of the Tesla cars, I think they drive to where you don't even got to steer. Now that's kind of spooky because what if they malfunction or go haywire? Yeah, it can drive differently or slow.
Yeah.
Then you have some of these cars that park themselves, and like I said, if you got some malfunctioning.
Yeah, like I get having like what we have on the car where it's like where you won't have to push the gas, like where it'll where you can set it to the specific like say you're going like 60 miles per hour, say you're going at that, then like you set it at that, and then like you won't have to like push the gas, but you'll still be steering. That's like the main part, like that's.
Yeah, like I agree with that, and I still don't use that. Yeah. Like your mom uses a lot, like she used cruise.
Like she'll use that when we're like doing long trips coming from like.
Like I said, I understand that, but I don't really use that. I never really use that.
Yeah, it's not necessary except for like long trips or something like that. Yeah,
that's cool, but I'm saying as far as just self-driving cars where you're not even steering or parking cars.
Yeah, because I remember this one time, Brittany had told me that like her car could do that, like where you don't have to steer like all the time, and she was just like pushing the pedals, and I was like, what are you doing? Like I was like 5, like my mind was just like I couldn't even like comprehend it. I was like, why are you? Yeah, it was, and I came home to mom talking about it, like this is crazy, blah blah blah, and she's like, yeah, it's one of those cars. And I was like, are you like not surprised by this?
So that's one of the things where technology is good,
but it can be when I was like 5. Yeah.
But like I said, like if you have a short circuit of fuse, like that'll cause that kind of drive haywire. So and then to leave it off with that, like I said, it's being used in the criminal justice system, and one of these articles I read, it said that now they're using artificial intelligence algorithm to like dictate people's sentencing and like what they're being tried for. So I think that's kind of spooky because, like I said, the negative thing with this artificial intelligence is kind of making it like they're human and they're trying to do human type tasks when that should be the furthest thing that they should be doing. Is trying to humanize something that is a robot. I would say. So
kind of, what's it called? What's the right word? Where they try to
make us automatons, like turn us into robots.
There's this one word, like I learned it like last year when we were talking about what's it called? It's basically like turning like an object or like was it personification? Is that what it is? Wait, no. I'm not sure. But it's when you like take like an object or like talk about like an object as if it's like a person.
Idolize or
No, I forgot what the word was, but that's basically what they're doing with AI.
Oh yeah. Maybe you kind of worship it, like idol worshiping.
Okay.
So that's about all I have, like on the artificial intelligence. You have any more on that?
Not really, no.
Alright, so we go into your next topic.
Okay, so my next topic is kind of about the government, and it's kind of tying in with one that I did last week, with the subliminal messages and the AI one that we just did, where it's talking about how the government kind of tries to control us because they're the real ones putting out like the things that we're using with like AI or like the subliminal messages that like they're trying to like control our lives with and kind of like listen to us and try to like recommend like things that like we don't need and stuff like that, and like kind of like driving us to like do things that like really isn't necessary, you know what I mean? And like I think that like it just like messes with us a lot, like that we don't really like, I don't know, it's kind of like unfortunate that like they really like try to like control us in a way, like that they're really trying to like have us like we're like puppets on a string almost. That's what they're trying to do.
That's how they have us too.
Yeah, because we don't think that we have that, like we think that we have more freedom than that, but we really don't when we think about it. Like all the stuff that we end up doing have like consequences, or like they're always like caused by some, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and they monitor everything. So I agree. So they say things in one breath, but means something else. So like you said, so like they say, we have freedom of speech, but then you can get censored.
Right,
So
because especially this year, like I hear like a lot of jokes are like, oh, 2018, you can't say anything like that, which is really true. Like people are like kind of more sensitive now, and like if you say something little, like people will like kind of like say that there's something wrong with it, or like you know, that's just like wrong in other people's eyes and stuff, and like that we just can't say stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like there's some stuff that you can't really say that are like mean if you're like making fun of somebody, but like something that's your opinion that somebody gets like offended by, or like the government just like something that like the government wouldn't want out, because like there's this one book that my sister had, it was like 100 things you're not supposed to like know about the government, and we were talking about that book the other day when I was down visiting her, and we were talking about like, because I read through it before, and there was a lot of crazy stuff in there. Like I could probably like, if I find it like next the next episode, we could like look through it some and like talk about some weird stuff.
But you know what's funny though, like you bringing up this government control and stuff that they swear is still tying into the artificial intelligence and the social media, because the negative things like they want people to gravitate to, they let that be pushed. You know what I'm saying? So say like the cinnamon challenge, stuff like that, right? But listen, but if you're doing challenges about say like catching rainwater and trying to use it for something healthy, right? You can get fined, or they will try to ban that and say you're pushing,
like you're pushing something bad,
stuff that means stuff,
like stuff that you can't do, like like there's just like the logic just doesn't make sense, like when you really think about it, like because they're really just trying to like push stuff that we don't need and stuff.
Yeah, so say like the Flint water crisis, sure, I mean it still gets some exposure, but that should be plastered.
People have gotten too used to it. It's starting to happen.
Yeah, it's plastered. It should be plastered over everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But
everybody should be talking
but they still,
about that.
and by the way, we stayed 30 minutes away from Flint, Michigan, but what's so crazy, they had time to come out with a whole movie on it on Lifetime, but the problem is still going on. You know, the solution hasn't been fixed.
Y'all have enough time to come
like that, but you got time to make the movie, make the Lifetime
but not
movie.
like actually fix it.
But not be hands-on fixing the problem.
That's like another thing that like makes our state look bad, because the government won't handle it. Because Detroit's already known as one of those bad cities, and let me say, because like I actually live here, it's not like there's parts of Detroit that are bad. There's parts of everywhere that are bad. Like Detroit is like known as like a violent place. Like but like.
And there's great parts of it too, and it's starting to change a lot, like the remodeling and stuff, and renovating.
Because there's a lot of because there's like the biggest mall in like Michigan is down there, or like around there in that area, or is that like
the Great Lake Crossing? It's on the outskirts of Detroit.
And it's like around there. Like there's some like nice parts of it, and there's some bad parts of it. Like and it's like that on top of the like Flint water crisis is just kind of making us look bad. Like we can't control it. The people that live here like aren't bad people. It's just that like we're not dirty or anything, like we just can't because like I'm sure like if you talk to somebody out of state, they'd be like, oh, how's the water? Like I'm sure that'd be like their first question. Like we live far enough away from it, like to fortunately that we have, I'm sure our water's still contaminated, like a lot of all water is because I don't really use like water from the sink that much, like other to like wash dishes or like maybe get like ice cubes and stuff like that, but like I'm careful with it, like I'll get like water jugs, but like it's still kind of like annoying that they won't handle that, like the government, they just like they won't fix the roads, they won't do like stuff that like just needs to be done like easily, like that they can fix.
But they put a lot of money into a lot of stuff,
just like stuff that's like not necessary, and then they're pushing that on top of us and asking us why we're broke and stuff, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're kind of pushing it on us. So.
Yeah, because they definitely, put out a lot of negative stuff that they want us to gravitate to, grab hold on versus, like positive things. Like it's no way that they shouldn't be, having more hands-on, with the water crisis and things like. But the sad thing is, Flint is the more publicized one, but it's even more places around the country and worldwide that's as bad as Flint or even worse. That's just one of the ones that's publicized.
Yeah, it's just more because it's like maybe like a bigger city, or like that was the one that was just like first talked about, you know what I mean? And like they have time to like talk about like, oh, like trying to make other places look bad and stuff. Like they're trying to talk about, oh, the terrorists do this and like stuff like that, but they don't have time to like fix up our country somewhere. You know what I mean? Like making them look bad just to make us look good. We're almost seeming like the bullies in the situation. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, you don't be right about that.
Like he's kind of like
seeming like we bullies. Like.
Yeah, and it's kind of like this is kind of like on topic like with the government, because like I know like because there's been like a lot of school shootings like this past year, like a lot of them, and like there's been so much more than the ones that are being like publicized, like the one like that first happened like back in like, was it like 2010 or 2012, like around there somewhere, like the Sandy Hook one that was really popular, like the one, the Florida one, like that was really big, like I heard people talk about the Texas one for like a few days. It kind of got over it, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like the shooting at YouTube, that was kind of like brush off people's shoulders, and like I don't get it, like because like I know that the UK, like they have like stricter like gun laws and stuff, like they have them like taken away, and I know that they still have like bombings and like stabbings and stuff like that. There's other ways like to have like violence and stuff, but I feel like we would almost like we'd still be safer like with like stuff like that. Like they're paying attention more so to the stuff that we don't need to have as much, like other than the stuff that's like in the long run like gonna affect us the most and like bring us into like a war or something like that. Yeah, definitely. It was like, because there's something like my mom told me, like there's something like in the Bible or something like that World War III will like be the end of like mankind or something like that, or it will like end a lot of people's lives and stuff like that. And they don't, because there's stuff
a lot of false
because there's stuff that can like that they can't stop. Like I mean, there's stuff that they like put in the air, like for example, like to cause like hurricanes and stuff. Like us, like not like fixing pollution or like not recycling, like stuff like that. But like there's also like volcanoes that could also like do a lot of stuff like that they can't fix, but like there's just so much more that they could fix that will like end up helping us out still, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of all I have to say about it. You can start talking.
Like I said, the government, like they try to like persuade us and brainwash us, you know, with the narrative, with the fake news stuff, right? So then when we come out, say with shows like this to speak on truthful experiences and different things going on throughout the world, they can like have us looked at as negative as saying something false. And like I said,
down real quick.
You know, a lot of stuff we saying, you know, just don't take our word for it. Maybe jot down notes and go fact check yourself.
This is just stuff that we believe. You don't have to believe.
We'll not believe. I want to correct on that, because we'll go forward. That, you know what, that's going to be one of the topics on one of our shows, believe versus no. Now me, I'm all about no, and my HOTC family.
Yeah, like there's one thing where you're like, well, I was like, well, you think the Earth is flat, and you're like, no, I know the Earth is flat, like stuff like that. Yeah. So that's going to be a topic that will be on one of the forthcoming shows. The difference between knowing and and believing, but yeah, they try to get us to believe in a lot of different false narratives and have us doing it, and they keep it plastered in our face to where the more you see it to where you start, resonate with it, or kind of falsely believing in it when it's the furthest, thing from the truth. So yeah, the government tries to persuade us, in a lot of ways and dictate, a lot of things and a lot of things in the aspect of life that we're a part of, on a daily basis, and like I said, like a couple of things that's just frustrating. Just being a human being there's no way we should be, having to pay for water or electricity. Like a natural resource.
Natural resource, like all of it, that's here for all of us.
Yeah, because you talked about that one guy who was like killed or something.
Tesla.
Yeah,
like that was one of the things that he was killed for, because we should be dealing with free energy, and like I said, there's no way we should have water bills. You know what I mean? It just should be free, just like we breathe air. Like I said, trust me, if the government knew a way to charge us for air, us breathing air, trust me, there will be. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it might sound funny and jokingly, but if they knew a way to charge us for us inhaling and exhaling this air that we breathe, and they would, you know what I mean? So yeah.
Because basically, like, charging us to, like, drink water when, like, our whole body's, like, made up of, not our whole body, but you know what I mean? It's just, like, stuff that, like, we don't need to use.
So just think about dealing with the government. The double way you do. Okay, they contaminate the water, right? Well, you know, with the different chemicals and different stuff they're doing, right?
Yeah.
But then the bottled water that we buy, they selling that to us.
Mm-hmm.
So they contaminating the water that we should be dealing with naturally. All these different chemicals, but then the so-called water that's supposed to be good, you know what I'm saying? We got to buy it back from the same people that's contaminating our natural water, you know, so it's kind of just like, man.
Hurting us.
Yeah, it's
hurting. I feel like they're just trying to kill us, you know?
Well, listen, your feeling is right. That's your intuition, because that's a part of population control. Like I said, that'll be a topic we talk about. So like I said, we just get started. This is only our third episode, so we're just starting to just touch the surface, you know. Yeah. You know, with these different topics and, you know what I'm saying, things like that, you know. Yeah. So, go ahead.
I kind of lost. Oh yeah. So like you were talking about like how they like contaminate like the water and stuff. That was actually going to be one of the topics, like about the stuff that they put in foods and stuff like that. You know, that could be something that I do next week, is like contaminating our water.
Yeah, just write that down and then, you know, make a note of it. And like I said, going forward, like, oh listen, on some of the things we will be touching bases on again, you know, because like I said, we've been taught, and not you so much because you're younger, you're 12, but me, I'm 43. I've been taught and brainwashed so long with different things to where, you know, we need to go over this stuff over and over so we can start changing the perception and our way of thinking on things, the falseness, you know, and the fake truths that we've been taught. So we're going to be backtracking and going over stuff. So instead of me saying I don't want to be redundant, I'm gonna have to start saying that we will be reiterating different talking points and different facts and different stats and statistics going forward, because like I said, out of sight, out of mind, you know what I'm saying, we'll be forgetting and then going back to the way that we've been taught. So some of the things that we've taught these first 3 weeks going forward, we'll be bringing them back up, you know what I mean? Like I said, going forward, as we generate, you know, more content, you know, we'll start having open panels to where some of my HOTC family will be joining us, and you know, we'll have some Q&A sessions sometime, you know, from the chat, you know. Like I said, we're just starting to get going, and like I said, we're gonna, you know, have more people viewing it once it's uploaded.
We'll most likely like keep it more open to like the people that we know better, other than like the people that can like join, because you know, like we were listening to like Sanchez's live stream like earlier.
Yeah, shout out to Bro Sanchez.
Yeah, like some people will come on there and be really ignorant and try to like
sabotage and you know what's going on.
To try to like.
So yeah, we don't want that going on, and also I know my brother Huey chatted some about the sound, and like I said, once again, this is our third show. We're gonna check it out, see, and without knowing for sure, we apologize about the sound quality. Like I said, this is the third show. Like we're tinkering and toying with things. So this is what it is. So the first week we did the show live, you know, just off the phone.
Yeah, right? Phone. The second week we did it like with our microphone, which is like I haven't used it in a while, so like I'll have to figure out the part.
We're doing it off the laptop now.
Yeah, I'll have to find out the problem, which was like with the microphone, because I'll try to use it again like once I figure out the problem and stuff. But like because we watched it back and realized that the sound was pretty fuzzy. We're not sure right now because we tried to test it, but we couldn't really listen to it back because like my computer wouldn't let it like open it. So we'll try to listen to it back, like try to like figure out like how to change like the file format to like open it back up and stuff like that. So we could just end up
And then on this episode we used the laptop
and stuff too.
So we used the laptop, but this time we didn't use the microphone. We just used the actual audio voice, you know, mechanism that's on the laptop. So that might be the problem, Huey. So like I said, we apologize if the sound quality isn't as good as we would like. But like I said, family, going forward, who would listen to this uploaded show, please bear with us because we passionate about the content, the different topics we bring. And like I said, the first week we did the show from our phone. The audio was good, but then we didn't have the backdrop content. Then the second week, and like I said, going forward, we're doing it from the laptop. We did the laptop so you can see the backdrop, of the show with our logos as well as the show logo, but we used the microphone and it was kind of muffled. So this week we used the laptop, but we did it with just the regular voice mechanism on the laptop and didn't use the microphone. So like I said, we apologize if the audio quality isn't as good, but please, family, bear with us going forward because we will get it down to a science to where the audio quality will be good, but please bear with us because, like I said, this show is coming from us, but it's for everybody. It's bigger than us. It's about, like I said, Bridging the Gap is about the youth and teenagers speaking, their opinions and their perspective and bringing research and different ideas that we can use in our life going forward worldwide on this plane, as well as parents and adults speaking from their point of view and their perspective and giving research and their account on things. So like I said, we apologize once again if the audio quality isn't good, but like I said, we'll watch it back and check it. But this is the third variation of what we used. The first week we just used the regular audio coming from the live stream from my phone and the YouTube. Then this past week we used the microphone in the second episode. It was kind of muffled. So this week we tried it with just the regular audio. So over time we will get it.
Yeah, because I'll start to get into more like editing and trying to like change scenes and stuff.
Yeah, she's gonna be working on that this week.
More effects and stuff like that. Like I'll be working on it, trying to work on like all the stuff. Yeah, because I'm behind the scenes of like the production, kind of like not the production, like
the production.
Yeah, like the
so
stuff like that, and then
that's what the Bridging the Gap is. Not to cut it off, but that's what I was telling you before we went live. Like Bridging the Gap.
Yeah, so that's her giving input. We came up like with the logo together, like the background, like putting our like icon on there and stuff like that.
Yeah. So Cammy's gonna be working with us being able to upload. Like I said, for some years I've been going to a lot of different people's channels when they do their shows and stuff.
Trying to get like inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration and just watching the different content. So she's gonna learn how to start doing the visual feed. So when we're talking about certain talking points, we can connect actual visuals to the commentary is what I would say.
Yeah.
So like I said, family, once again, we apologize if the audio isn't up to par, but please bear with us because like I said, the content we're bringing is truthful, it's great, and it's coming from the heart. And like I said, going forward, it's bigger than us. It's just like giving other people the initiative and the incentive to have different dialogue, if not on the public platform behind closed doors with their family and different people saying their communities. But at the end of the day, we're spreading this worldwide, and like I said, this is being brought to you on behalf of my HOTC family, which is the House of True Consciousness. And like I said, on behalf of me, Knowledge for Ignorance, aka K4I, and
Cammy,
we just want to say thanks for tuning in. And did you have anything else you want to say? Any shout outs or anything?
Not really. This week it's been a good episode. It's been we talked about a lot.
Yeah, and like I appreciate that. Like I said, I just want to shout out my HOTC family. Like I said, we apologize. We're gonna listen back and see if the audio was bad, and if so, what we'll do, like I said, I'm not gonna say redundant. If the audio was pretty bad to where we don't feel the message is being heard, we'll redo the show again. If not today, sometime tomorrow, and we will use the microphone, even though currently we know it might sound muffled, it might sound a little muffled. We know we can get the quality better, but like I said, hopefully this sound, the sound was good enough so our content can be heard. But if not, we'll do the show. We'll do this third episode again, all over again sometime tomorrow. If the audio quality is real bad, we'll redo the third episode dealing with artificial intelligence, social media, the government, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So once again, on behalf of me, myself, K4I, and Cammy, we want to say thank you for tuning in to Bridging the Gap TV, and we hope you guys will tune in going forward to next week, and a couple of topics going forward next week. What was one of the ones you was gonna do?
Talking about crisis actors and
crisis actors. And fake news, fake news and crisis actors. So that's gonna be two of the things, and also we're gonna jump into talking about
next week.
Also, we're gonna talk about a little bit about the Akashic Records.
Yeah.
And if you've never heard of the Akashic Records before, it actually could have tied into some of the stuff today, but the Akashic Records, just to give you a little backdrop going into next week, it's pretty much the total accumulation of human thoughts, human events, words, emotions, whether it's past, present, or future. So the Akashic Records is dealing with anything, any human emotion, thoughts, events, words, anything of that nature, and it's supposed to be everything that's ever existed. So we'll speak on that going into next week. And like I said, once again, we apologize if the audio quality is bad. And until next week, I'm K4I.
This is Cammy.
And we're signing out from Bridging the Gap TV.